Hi, in this video I'll demonstrate how to attach your Weemaway squirrel deterrent to a tree hook. Step number 1, the Velcro wrap. Step number 2, take one of the wheels, this one's got nice decals on it, and position it on the tree hook, over the tree hook, providing for like a half an inch to an inch of space between the hook where the feeder gets attached and the bottom of the wheel. Then mark or scratch or somehow identify where on the hook you're going to be placing the wheel. I scratched the pole here. And then you're going to give 2 turns of Velcro wrap at that point. I start here, I work it around 1 full turn, two full turns, and then it's time to cut the excess. And make sure that's good and tight. Okay, step number 2. We're going to take our axle chassis, which is this aluminum piece with the tie wraps on it. We're going to place it over the Velcro, and then we're going to tighten up the tie wraps. And when you do this particular part of the operation, you want your tie wrap, the fastener end, to be up against the bracket, the axle bracket. So as you can see right here, the fastener end of the tie wrap is up against the axle bracket. That's important. You don't want it protruding out to the sides because it will interfere with the operation of the spinning wheels. Okay, now with the bracket attached, I want to talk about spacing. Your Weemaway will come equipped with a hardware bag with all kinds of spacers and washers, and the reason for that is that some of these tree hooks and feeder poles are 3/16 of an inch diameter, some are 1/4 inch, some are half, 3/4, so on and so forth. So the spacers are provided so that you can adjust the Weemaway axle to match whatever diameter post you're dealing with. Okay, let's get underway. Step number 1, after you've determined what width, what diameter your pole is, you'll know which one of the 3 bolts to use. In this case, we're using the 1.5 inch bolt. Put a washer on it. Push it through the wheel. Then I'm going to be adding a 1/4 inch spacer here. Try to let the camera catch up with the focus. And then run that through. Oh, I forgot one thing. After you've got your tie wraps on, you want to clip the trailing ends. Get those out of the equation, because those will also interfere with the wheel. Okay? So after you've got the tie wraps in place, clip the trailing end. Okay, now back to assembly. We've got our bolt, our washer. On this side we have 1 spacer. Then we slide it through the bracket. This camera doesn't like to focus very quickly. And then another spacer, 2 washers, our other wheel, a washer, and then our lock nut. At this point, what we want to do is we want to tighten this lock nut so that our wheels are not wobbling, but also there's no braking action. The wheels will spin freely. So I'll use a 7/16 inch open-end wrench and an adjustable wrench, and then I'm going to tighten up the lock nut until I achieve the tension that I want. Okay, our wheel does not spin freely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up that lock nut just a bit. There we go. Now our wheel is spinning freely, unimpeded. That's where you want that lock nut set. Okay, now another thing I want to point out, another feature of the Weemaway, you'll notice that your wheels will spin. They'll rotate, and that's a good thing, because when you have a strong wind, the last thing you want is for your tree hook to be going horizontal and your bird seed and possibly your feeder, possibly even the Weemaway and tree hook, all falling onto the ground. So that's one of the advantages of the Weemaway, is it actually pivots and rotates with the wind. Once you've got that done, you're ready to use it. You hang it in the tree, and then you attach your feeder on the bottom hook. And that's it. It's a pretty simple assembly. You can probably do it in under 5 minutes. I'd like to point out a couple of things to you for your own edification. One of them is, you'll notice that the Weemaway is much closer to the lower hook than it is to the upper hook. Ideally, we want to have like at least 3 inches between the tree branch and the Weemaway. That's extra protection. So in this case, the hook is about 21 inches from here to here, which is perfect for the Weemaway. Since the Weemaway is 18 inches, that gives us 3 inches up at the top. And that's what you want to do. You want your Weemaway low on the tree hook, and you want some space up here between where the straight part of the tree hook and where it bends around into the curve. Now, if you happen to have a tree hook which doesn't allow you to do that, like here we've got one which is very short. I'm going to show you how to deal with that. What I've done is I've given myself the 3 inches up here at the part of the hook that will be attached to the tree, and I've buried inside, I've buried the hook to which the bird feeder will be attached. Then you can take a chain, a piece of chain, or wire, or anything. In this case, I've got about a 9-inch long bungee cord, and I simply attach it and then extend the hook, and voila, I can use my very short hook with the Weemaway and the bird feeder. And that's it. Now the last thing I'd like to mention is that when you do it this way, when you bury the hook, you're not going to get the pivoting action, because the hook is going to prevent the wheel from spinning very far in the wind. So the ideal situation is to have a tree hook which has enough room on it for the Weemaway plus 3 inches at the top. And the last thing I want to mention is that the instructions for the pole feeder, when you have a feeder which is pressed into the ground and you want to position your Weemaway along that pole so that the squirrel cannot approach from the ground up, when you are placing your Velcro wrap on your pole, you set that at exactly 4 feet. 4 feet to 5 feet, but 4 feet is sufficient, and that gives you plenty of room to work with different kinds of feeders. And that's it. That is how you assemble the Weemaway. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email or join our Facebook group, Backyard Bird Buddies, and you can talk directly with Weemaway experts at that Facebook location. Thank you again for your time, and have a good day.